Macavity, the mystery cat. Macavity is a mystery cat. He is called Hidden Pooh, for he is a master criminal who can defy the law. He is a bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad's despair, for when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. Here, the poet describes a mysterious cat who is a criminal. Macavity is a mysterious cat or a mystery cat. Mystery means something which is very difficult to be understood or to know. Okay, so here Macavity is described as a mystery cat and he is called the Hidden Pooh. He is called as Hidden Pooh, for he is a master criminal who can defy the law. He is a master criminal. He is a very good criminal, very clever criminal who can defy the law, who can disobey, who is disobeying or resisting openly all the human-made laws. He is resisting the laws or disobeying the rules and regulations of the society or laws of the society. He is a bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad's despair. Even the famous detective agencies like Scotland Yard and the Flying Squad. Flying Squad here is group of police officers in England. Okay, so the famous detective agency like Scotland Yard and Flying Squad, even they are not able to find the crimes done by Macavity. He is a master criminal. He disobeys. He is a master criminal. He is a very good criminal. He is very clever and he disobeys all the rules and regulations and laws. He is a cause of bafflement to the detective agencies like Scotland Yard and Flying Squad. He is a bafflement of Scotland Yard and Flying Squad. Bafflement here means puzzle. He is confusing everyone. He is a puzzle to all the detective agencies. He is too clever to be caught by anyone. And when they reach the place of crime, the mysterious cat Macavity is not there. For when they reach the scene of crime, when these detective agencies or police officers, when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity will not be there. He escapes very easily. He breaks all the rules and regulations. He breaks all the laws of the society. And he is very clever to escape from the crime scene without being noticed by anyone. Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. He has broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fucking stare. And when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You may seek him in the basement. You may look up in the air. But I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. There is no one in the world like Macavity. He is a very special cat. No one is like Macavity. He has broken every human law. He breaks every single human law. He disobeys or he is against all the rules and regulations and he disobeys all the human-made laws. He even breaks the law of nature. He breaks the law of gravity. He has the power to rise or float in the air. He knows how to float in the air. He has the power to do that, to float in the air. So actually it is against the law of gravity, isn't it? So that is why it is said he breaks the law of gravity because he has the power to float in the air. So here it is told that he breaks the law of gravity. He breaks the law of nature. Not only the human laws, he breaks the laws of nature also. His power of levitation would make a fucking stare. What do you mean by levitation? Floating in the air without support is called as levitation. So he breaks the laws of gravity and floats in the air without any support. And even the fakir here means magician. Even the magicians couldn't believe their eyes. They were so surprised and they used to stare at Macavity because Macavity is able to float in the air without any support. Okay, he breaks the rules and regulations. He breaks the law of gravity and he floats in the air. And the magician is also surprised to see that. You may seek him in the basement. You may look for the mystery cat or the Macavity in the basement. And you may look up in the air also. You may look for it in the sky also. You may look for mystery cat, this Macavity in the sky as well as in the basement. But I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. But after doing the crime, the Macavity is not found anywhere. Okay, Macavity, after doing the crime, he will escape easily and nobody could find Macavity in the scene of crime. Macavity is a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. His brow is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly doughed. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. He sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake. And when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake. Macavity is a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin. Here, the poet is describing the physical features of the cat Macavity, and the poet is telling that Macavity is ginger-colored cat. Ginger-colored means Macavity is brown in color, and he is very tall and thin. He is very tall cat, and his body is very thin. You would know him if you saw him. His eyes are sunken in. Another important feature is that his eyes are sunken in and his brow is deeply lined with thought. He has got lot of wrinkles on his forehead and his head is highly doughed, which means that his head is of round in shape. His coat is dusty from neglect. Here, his coat means his fur. His fur is always dusty from neglect. He never gets time to look after his body or to keep his body neat and clean. So, his coat, that means his fur, is always dusty. And his whiskers are uncombed. His whiskers, what do you mean whiskers? The long stiff hair grown near the mouth, they are called as whiskers. The whiskers are not combed, they are always tangled, they are not combed at all because he never gets time to look after his body. He is always very busy. And he sways his head from side to side. That means he sways. He sways here means he moves his head from side to side just like the movement of a snake. You know the movement of snake, isn't it? It moves its head from side to side just like that. The cat, mystery cat, Macavity, also moves or sways his head from side to side. And when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake. You may think that he is asleep, but no, he is not always asleep. He is always alert. Even if he is sleeping, he is always alert. And he is always wide awake. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity, for he is a fiend in feline shape, a monster of depravity. For you may meet him in a by street, you may see him in the square, but when a crime is discovered, then Macavity is not there. In this stanza, the poet tells us that there is no one like Macavity in his wickedness. He is a fiend. He is a fiend here means he is a devil. He is a fiend. He is a devil. He is a evil character or he is an evil spirit. He is devil in feline shape. Feline shape means the shape of a cat. So he is a devil in the shape of a cat. And he is a monster of wickedness. He is a monster of wickedness and he may be seen in you may meet him in a by street or you may see him in the square. You may see him in the by street or in a square, in a plaza or in an open place. Everywhere you can see him. But when people come to know about a crime or when a crime is discovered, then Macavity will not be there. Macavity is not there. So when people come to know about a crime, then he is found nowhere. You cannot find Macavity in the scene of a crime.